So my own sister will not start a podcast with me.
It's your boy, Nerdy White Guy. Nerdy White Guy. Put you in a motherfucking coffin, my guy. He's so dope. Nerdy White Guy. Nerdy White Guy. My prayers got answered, dude. this white dude. Nerdy White Guy. Nerdy White Guy. We're gonna get this shit started, though.
Nerdy gang. So what is going down, everybody? Dog, so I've been trying to figure out what I can add to this channel. So I already got like my own personal with just me, like a podcast where I'm going to kind of talk like for 30 minutes. And we're going to go over stuff. We'll look at stuff online. We'll Google fact check shit and do all that shit, man. Even though I don't trust Google the mostest, it's at least a good basis to try to find some information, right? But this video is not even about that at all, bro. This is about a podcast that I wanted to start with my sister. Now, bro, I first told my sister the name and she was like, that is awesome. Oh my God, that is so funny. Now, she got to thinking this and that. She said, hey, bub, I cannot do the podcast that is named like that. I was like, what are you talking about? People are going to love it, and it's one of our sayings. We say it to each other all the time. Now you guys may be wondering, what is the name of this podcast? Now guys, it didn't even take me half a second to come up with this name, right? Because it is something that me and my sister have said a lot, right? So the name of the podcast was going to be called The Same Nutsack Podcast. Now, how did we come up with that name, bro? We came up with that name because we always say to each other, same nutsack, man, same ovaries. Because we came from the same parents, right? So it's like I just thought it was absolutely hilarious. I think when she got scared is when I started saying, hey, man, with the merch and the advertisers, man, dude, we're going to be able to kill it. We'll be able to have a nutsack with our faces on it for t-shirts. And then the worst mistake I think out of everything was I told her about Manscaped and their ball cream. She's like, I cannot be associated with us selling ball cream, dude. I was like, you don't even gotta do it, man. You don't even gotta do it. I will, if it ends up being like that successful where we end up having people where we gotta read for, I'll do all the readings, bro. But it's just too good of a name just to let go, man. So every couple of days I'll text her. I'll be like, same nutsack. Right? Because it's not only our saying, but it's also something that I want to create a podcast out of. Me and my sister, we got such a unique relationship, right? We are super close, but we're also super different type of people. She is more on the liberal side of things, and I'm more on the conservative side of things. And we have been saying for years, long before I even knew really what podcasts were, right? That we should have been recording a lot of our conversations throughout our life. Because, Doc, I don't want to toot our own horn, but we are fucking hilarious, bro. We have so many stories, right? And we grew up both as hood kids. She's got so many stories. She's got an incredible backstory of just overcoming adversity and everything like that, right? And that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to do a podcast with her. Not only because it would be fun, not only that it would bring her joy as well. It would also bring us a little bit closer together, even though we are super close. But it would also give people inspiration, man, because me and her, we didn't start from the best spot. We some hood-ass kids who just came from nothing, and, we didn't let our situation determine the person who we are. But yeah, man, I'm working on just a whole bunch of different ideas, man. I'm scheming, I'm plotting. Right now, it's like the off season for me. So what that means is when my business goes into hibernation mode for about a month or two, because I'm in landscaping, maintenance in particular. So what I do is I cut grass, I do hedges, I do tree work, all that stuff. And in this time of year in Washington State, all that stuff just stops growing. The calls just don't come in. So this is a time for me to recalibrate not only my business, but my life, the YouTube channel. This is when I get the most thinking and planning done for the year. Every year I recalibrate, man. So I am going into my third year as a legal business where I'm licensed, bonded, all that shit. But I have 2 years before that where I was just doing it under the table. I just take cash, or they would Venmo me, and it wouldn't be connected to a business or nothing like that. It was just I was just working under the table. And every year around this time, man, I set out goals, man. I set out like my financial goals for the business. I set out like my marketing strategy that I'm going to end up employing, stuff that I want to end up accomplishing for my business, for myself, for my family. Like the New Year's, I guess everyone says New Year's, new me. It's not that way at all for me. It's basically New Year. I'm just going to end up doing things a little bit better. So like this year, man, this offseason, I'm going to end up restructuring my whole marketing strategy, man. It's going to be like yard signs, flyers, all the Facebook ads, all that shit, and a website. And we're just going to tweak a couple things. We're going to switch some colors around just to see how the numbers differ from like last year or the year before. And then we're just going to compile a whole bunch of different data just to figure out how we can get the customer acquisition. Because as soon as we get those, bro, the work is good. We do a great job, you know, but the problem in this company is just, dude, there are so many other companies that are doing it, willing to do it for less because they don't have the licensing. They don't have, like, the business that they got to support. So they're willing to do it for, like, $20 an hour or whatever. And it's like, so we got to compete and make sure that our voices are heard above those guys. And we also got to be heard above like fucking big ass companies as well, like True Green and all of that. You know, I take pride that this company is going to be family built, family owned, family operated, and yeah, we're going to kill this shit. And then when it comes to like, you know, like my personal shit, you know, like the shit that I make goals for, you know, so I like last year I had like an income goal. What did I want my savings, all my assets, everything to look like? What did I want my credit score to look like? Because when I was younger, I fucked that up severely and I'm still fucking paying for it, right? So I gotta raise that shit up. And just that, those were all my goals for last year. This year's not gonna be any different, just everything's gonna creep up a little bit. So for instance, say I wanted $100 in savings, assets, all that shit. This year I want 300, you know, and then I will say my credit score was at like a 500. I want it to be at like a 600. Just about reaching different levels of my of myself, of my company, and even of this YouTube channel. Now with this YouTube channel, man, I'm trying to figure out ways to get more eyes on it, right? So I'm trying to do all these little things like the hot sauce challenges that I do, which I owe you guys one, right? The bomb is coming up. It's coming up within the next few days. That will be dropping. I ended up having a tooth pulled last Wednesday. You guys probably didn't even know it unless you're like friends with me on Facebook or whatever. But I had my tooth pulled and I can't eat super hot ass shit for 10 days. That's what they told me. So like right after I got it pulled right on that Friday, so I got it pulled on Wednesday, on the Friday, it ended up being where Tom McDonalds' video just went fucking crazy. I got the views and the likes I needed for the challenge, so I absolutely owe you guys that. But it's not just like the hot sauce stuff, right? Like I'm trying to figure out different podcasts. That's why, you know, I was talking to you guys about with my sister, you know. My mom has offered to do a podcast with me. That is one of those where it's like, I need someone that can be here every week that we can do a podcast. Because when I start doing a podcast, when I start anything, I make sure that I at least see it through to a point where like I understand whether it can be successful or not successful. And we just have to be able to have that type of structure. It has to be done that way. And if the person can't do it that way with me, then they are out. My sister, if she commits to something, she's going to end up fucking doing it, man. I just got to get her to commit to it. And I don't want to change the name. She said she'd do a different podcast with a different name. And dog, honestly, I ain't budging on the fucking name, bro. So what you guys can expect in the next year, man, is hopefully a podcast that is good, up and going, like a personal one, just me, and hopefully we got another podcast, so I end up doing 2 of them a week for y'all. My reactions are still going to be coming. I'm just trying to grow personally, business-wise. I'm just trying to grow, man, and I hope you guys are here to witness that growth. And if you guys are, dude, fucking, I appreciate you. Hopefully you guys can see a difference. And just everything from the beginning of this channel, right? So every year we add something. Last year we added a new camera. This year we added some lights, man. I don't know if you guys noticed, but dog, there's no like crazy shadows anymore when I lean forward and shit like that. Like it's not covering half my face. And it's like we're progressively getting better. And that's what it's all about. And that's what's important to me. As long as I'm getting better, as long as there's progression in every area that I'm doing, I'm a happy guy, bro. So, dude, hopefully you guys stick around. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for the support. Everything that you guys do, from the comments, the likes, the shares, the different groups that just fucking really fuck with me heavy, like Hangover Gang, Creek Squad. Like, dude, all you guys. Fucking love you. And, yeah, I will see you guys fucking tomorrow, bro.